Greetings and welcome to Site Commander Crosby's second training video. This video is going to be made with the perspective of recruits just joining Operation Winners. This is the Operation Winners main page. This is what most people see right off the bat when they come to Operation Winners. As you can see, we have our online users up here and our donation drive there, and of course our introductory. One of the things I want to deal with right off the bat is the chat functions on Operation Winners, the chat management functions. Now, as I said, this is going to be from the perspective of a recruit. So I'm going to go ahead and come up here to Boot Camp. Now, as a recruit, you don't get to see all of these. Some of these are actually non-functioning pages yet, right at the moment. So your list is quite small. Go ahead and we're going to click on Boot Camp, and here's Boot Camp. Okay, so with Boot Camp, we have these various stages of missions. We just expand those. It's important to keep an eye on this. Don't forget to refresh. Now, to refresh your browser, it depends on the browser you're using. For Firefox, I would just click on this little reload page, and that will reload the page. That's basically refreshing. Very important because of the chat functions themselves. They will update at about every 10 minutes. So if you're actually in a conversation with somebody, you may want to regularly kind of update this, refresh it, so that the chat box itself will refresh. And you'll get to see these 31 minutes ago. Yeah, otherwise, basically, somebody can send you something and you don't even know that it's there because of the fact that it hasn't actually done its own refresh. So, with the chat boxes, it's really important that we refresh often, especially if you get multiple chat boxes going. Sometimes people do. They might have a chat box going for the command center. They've got a chat box going for Boot Camp. There's an audible cue, a ding, when you get a message, but when you have multiple chat boxes going, it can be real difficult to tell which one you're getting a message from. When it comes to these chat boxes, when you're done basically using them, it's real important to log out. That's this button right here, Leave Chat. You click on that, it leaves like that. Your name goes off the list. People then, okay, now notice it's still there. Watch this. If I refresh, say my name comes off the list. You can also manage the chat boxes with this right here. This little icon at the bottom left-hand corner. This is the chat management button. It shows our chat networks on the site. Now again, as the site owner, I pretty much have access to all the chat boxes. As a recruit, you'd only have the chat with a legend, the conference room to the Sky Marshal, Crosby's communication panel, and the Boot Camp. Command center, undermining, fortification, those aren't available to you until you get to rank 1 or better. But let's say I wanted to come back into the Boot Camp. I just click on that. There, see, now I've joined it again. I don't even have to be on this page for this. Let's go to Boot Camp. Okay, so as you can see, I can actually type a message right in here. What missions we doing today? And there you go. So, and this basically with this you can minimize it. It's still functioning. You can actually be on other places and still be in the Boot Camp chat. If you want to actually leave it, just click on this, and that'll take you out. So that basically is how you deal with the chat boxes. Again, real important to constantly refresh, especially if you get multiple things going at once. This is the forum activity page. Just click on that, and you can expand this, and it shows you all the latest new threads that are been posted recently on the Colonial Forum. You can open these up because they actually only list 3 at a time, but this shows all that activity for that day, whether there's been replies. So if you just want a quick, fast means of getting there and finding out what's happening, That's a good way to do it. So that is the forums activity. You just click on it. Now if you actually want to go to the Colonial Forums, you drop down one, and here's our Colonial Forums. Again, as a recruit, you may not see all of these things. You don't see any of the UFC news and announcement stuffs. It says rank 1+. Again, being the site owner, I can't cut myself out of any of that stuff. So, but as a recruit, primarily, you just want to deal. You're going to be dealing with the boot camp, your missions. Obviously, put in your introduction and do your missions. And obviously, we have the community things here, our democracy, our polling forum, shore leave for if you want to take a leave from Operation Winners and you don't want your tag to go into the commanders on the scan list. I'd like to talk a little bit about that. Obviously, it says it is advised you scan these pilots as they are unvalidated at this time. This is no black mark or anything against these pilots. It just means they haven't uploaded validation photos, so I haven't validated them. Some of these pilots, 10-20%, could be defected to other powers, and therefore, if they're on your friends list, you wouldn't really necessarily know they've defected until you scan them with your scanner. At that point, you'd know they defected, and that's what that basically means. So, with that, we have our information center. This is going to be constantly updating. This is where we'll find our training videos. We have the Galnet News. I intend to put a bunch of new links in here. The information center is going to be a constantly expanding thing. Again, one of the things that to make any change, if I've made a change, if you keep your browser up and running all the time, if I've made a change, you wouldn't see it until you refresh. And at that point, any changes I've made would upload. So again, it's really important. If you're done with Operation Winners for the day, I almost suggest just like I say, closing your chats and go ahead and exit out of your pages. You can leave maybe the main page running like this if you'd like. You can just minimize that if you want. Boom, come back to it, SMAP. Might do a quick refresh on it before you start dealing with the Operation Winners webpage, going where you want to go, to see if there's any changes on the main page, but I don't expect the main page is going to be changing much. Crosby's World, you can always come into Crosby's World. I'm always here a lot of the times, so you can just hit me up with a chat. I notice I leave a message that says out of the office if I'm out of the office. If I'm in the office, I put in the office. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to get to you the first, 5 minutes after you put a message in there, but I'll get there pretty quick. So, and my communications panel is available to anybody and everybody. So, just leave me a message. I clean it out often, so it doesn't have much history. Typically, if I'm done with a chat with someone, giving them instructions or whatever I'm doing, I just clean out the history so it keeps it nice and orderly. And I think that will do it for my the second training video. Again, refresh often. I can't say that enough. I typically have 8, 9, 10 windows going on the site at one time, and I'm constantly having to refresh them because the toolbar, this thing down here that gives you your messages, your notifications, this won't refresh if you don't refresh. So you might have a window that let's say I had forum activities running. So I had this one running, and then of course I actually started. There's my boot camp. I had that one running. And let's say I started. The Galnet News. Now this one obviously is a separate website, so it doesn't have the typical toolbars. But so I'm reading the news, and then I come back here. Now, if I haven't refreshed these, so let's say I refresh boot camp. Boot camp's refreshed. This is updated. I got a message. I might answer my messages and stuff like that. Then if I click on this one, this wouldn't have updated unless I do a refresh on this one too. So I refresh that one. Now, if I'd already read the messages over here and cleared out any notifications and stuff, and this was back to be blank, this one wouldn't be until I refreshed it. Now they'd all match up. So refresh often. I mean, that's just really important. It's constant. You constantly having to refresh it. If I had a way, I'd put a refresh button on the website where you just had to click a button and it would automatically refresh every one. I'm going to see about getting and doing some scripting that it might cause an automatic refresh every 2 minutes or something. But until then, you just have to hit that button often. So enjoy this. I hope you enjoyed this training video. I hope it was informative enough. And I'll be making another one about probably the messaging center next.